real desk, folks. I gotta get a real desk. I can't fit everything on this table. Alright, let's see. How are we gonna do this? If I just had a double monitor, that would help too. Grab that. Okay. Alright. So, I've got some actual bugs here. I'm going to transcribe them. I have them on a notebook right now. I'm going to transcribe them on here. I just want to do... I just want to do the tweet real quick. Now that's out. And we are ready to get going. I have 5 good ones, and some of these are crash ones that we can do today, and some of them we will build tests for next time, as they are content related. Some of them we might have trouble tracking them actually down, but that'll be a part of the finding. Once we find them, having the regression test there will be even more rewarding. So there's a crash in do single edit in, let's see, how do I want to move do feedback message. I'm not getting the exactly correct names here. They're just enough for me to remember exactly the details. Okay. There's a crash in duplicate line on messages. I believe Jim was the one who reported that. This is a content-based one. Error or jump line parsing fails for the format name number colon. Crash in provided test sample code file. What is it called? Non-source test data sample files. This one. Might just be the fucking size of this guy. Look at that. Alright, and what's our last one here? I believe this is a content one and not a crash one, but move line up / down near the edge of the file. Okay. So those are our bugs that we're going to do for now to test the testing system, to put it to work, right? To see how it works when I try to use the testing system to find / nail down regression testing type things that catch this crap. So we're going to put the content stuff off, which these two are, for some other day. These two are, or these 3 are going to get under a crash type. Now we're going to sort these from easiest to hardest. I'm guessing this will be the order of easiest to hardest. Yes, I believe that's the one I'm talking about, Jim. I think you reported both of the line edit bugs, actually, didn't you? Wait, I had one more that I read that I'm forgetting now. Well, did I get all of them off the list? 1 second, maybe I skipped one. If you're not the one who reported that, then someone else has already reported the line swapping problem. Yeah, I guess that's how I wrote down 5 of these. I thought there was one from, I'm gonna blank now. He wrote in and he told me, this was back in January. Let me just check my emails real quick again. I'm gonna use my other computer so you guys still will not be seeing it. Let's see. Gotta go back to January. Right, that's the one. So that's a content one. Seek end of line for very long line. Thousands of characters. Alright. I think that's everything. That we can do for now. So, let's get these crash ones figured out. Can I reproduce this one right now? So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to the debugger for that. We are going to manually do the work, so yep, that's where we want it. Let's see. If I'm understanding correctly, it just should be a matter of loading the file. Hey, great, we can reproduce this one, like I was hoping. So what's happening here is interesting looking. It's in the mem copy. First Lex serial tokens. Token array count. Wow. Yeah. So this looks like it's about Oh wow, yeah, the count's way, way bigger than the max count there. Token count. Whoa, that's interesting. So this guy's max count. Wait, I don't even know what this code path is. What is this? Swap array and the tokens. Huh. I guess what's happening here. I have no idea what's happening here. How are those swapped? Well, we're gonna debug it, but that's not the first thing we want to do. First, we want to just catch a regression test that actually make a regression test that actually catches that. Because it's so simple, all we have to do is load a file. That's the entirety of the test. So we just need to go to input scripts. We're going to go ahead and delete all of our stuff from when we were first setting up. So build test builder. No, build tests. Yeah, this stuff is gone. And we're going to do test load what's the name of that file? Font Courier new. .4is. Alright. Delete these files. Thank you, my old file friends who helped me to bootstrap the system up, get it running. Now we're gonna start building real tests. All right, font Courier new 28 c.4is. All right. So this is going to have a base weight of 1, and then we're going to immediately key the O key with the control down so we can open. We're going to type oops, no, okay, we're going to type that. That'll be more than enough to pull it up, and then we will key new line, like so. And that will attempt to open it, and then we just need to, if it doesn't crash already, we need to exit so that we don't just sit there running forever. And this test only fails if it crashes. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to build our tests. Type, oh, right, you need a number there. Thank you for the jump to error. Whoever coded that scripting language was on the ball. And so there we generated our tests. We build them. Now I want to go over to the generator real quick. I have to tell it. I basically want to sort of run test font Courier new. Alright, and so it's just going to need the test list. It's probably going to need the partition too, right? Okay. So this takes partition pointer and the test list pointer, and then we're basically just doing this kind of thing, except we don't actually need to do that. We just need to test name. Yeah, we need to do this kind of thing here. Right. I guess we're actually not going to need the partition. And then we're going to push that test onto there, and then we just need to run test open. What was the name of our test? This guy right here. Yep, so just put that in there for ID, terminate with null, and push that onto there. Now, I could make my life much easier if I did this. In fact, then I could do this. Push test. Well, we'll just do it this way. We'll just call straight to push test, make string slowly off of the C name there. And that will just let me do that so I can generate tests. Ooh, why don't you like that? Oh, you want a pointer to the test, don't you? There we go. And then I can build my tests, and then I can run it. And the other ones won't crash. Alright, so while that's going, I'll answer this question. Kate Bra asks, why is 4coder not open source? I mean, I don't see how that I mean, the only reason to want it to be open source, I mean, it's already free. If you wanted the whole thing to be free, then, I mean, the only problem with that is I still want to work on it. And like, you know, it's just nice to you can't you don't get things with quality without having money behind you, basically. So it comes down to, and it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but the more money I'm getting paid to do something, the better job I do on it. That's all there is to it. It's something I can really just choose to do a good job on, like, you know, put a bunch of effort into something. It's too psychological for me to do it that way. Now, if you're thinking if it was just open source, you know, you could come up with all kinds of arguments about if it was all completely open source, not in the sense that it's free, but you want to be able to just get in there and make your own changes and stuff. I can understand that, and my goal is that if I ever stop working on 4coder, well, my plan is that if I ever stop working on 4coder, I would open source it then, or pass it off to someone else who I really trusted, so that things can continue to improve and be, you know, stuff like that. But I don't want it to be open source right now, because the only advantage to it being open source when it's already free is that then other people can get into the code and like make suggestions, and I don't want other people's suggestions. I still like working on it as my own thing. So that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm not really yeah, I'm not that impressed by the idea of like open sourceness as being particularly virtuous. It isn't a way that I can make good things. That's all I know. All right, so so that's crashing, and we have the test in there. So let's try to fix it now. So the next trick is, once I have a test that is failing, I want to focus on just that one thing that fails. And I want to somehow launch it in such a way that I can attach a debugger to it, right? So let's see if I can just run this and attach a debugger when it fails. Why, if we're... Why aren't we getting any information here? So K-Brod's suggesting that development could be faster if it was open source. I guess the idea being that other people could contribute, but that's the whole point. I'm not really interested in accelerating the development by making that trade-off. I mean, just like go use Emacs. That's open source, right? You can accelerate its development has been accelerated in that way. This is supposed to be something different. I'm not going to try to guess exactly how to pronounce your name. I'm just going to say Mesh is asking, what is this? I don't know. Do we have Insobot? Can I just do like an Insobot command to tell you what this is? Let's see. Hey, yes. So Insobot just told me, maybe I'm supposed to do it this way. Sorry for spamming my chat. Ah, you got it. Great. And in particular, today I'm working on testing stuff. So, why am I not... The question here is, why am I not getting to debug this when it fails? Okay, these tests are all fine. I know they're going to pass. I want to turn them off. I thought I did turn them off. Okay. Regenerate the tests. Let me just double check that this has only got... Okay. Now, let's see if we can attach a debugger. Stopped working, and I want to attach debugger. Yes. I'm not getting like a call stack or breakpoints or anything. And I wonder if that's just because... You know what? I have a... well... No, I'm actually a little confused why I'm not allowed to do that. Hold on. So... I am building right here. I'm running from out of the build folder, so I'm getting the most recent thing, not like the binaries that I've got. That has the PDB for that. It has the PDB for that. Yeah, it's got all of the PDBs available. So do I have to like be on the nose and catch it like right now before it does that other thing? Like, why doesn't it show me a call stack here? Gramanja asks, why don't you start from Visual Studio? Because I'm trying to get, can I do that? That might be a way I can do this. I'm trying to get it so that I can run a script that runs multiple tests, and I don't necessarily want to have to manually run them. I could just run them all, and then if one of them crashes, then run that test manually. But what I'd like to be able to do is have, if one of them crashes, then the debugger kicks in, which is, you know, probably like just so far beyond what anybody has ever engineered anything to do on at Microsoft. But it'd be nice. Let me see if I can run a program from DevEnd without like launching DevEnd first. Like, is there a way that I can write this script so that it launches this with these and attaches the debugger? Let's do a little bit of research, shall we? I'm going to do the research over on the other computer, just because I don't like ads popping up in my videos and fucking stuff like that. So, launch program with Visual Studio Debugger attached. No, I don't want to import. I just want to run I want to run it like it's GDB. It's probably just not even close to possible. Like, I know how to launch Visual Studio with that executable, but then it won't run. Yeah, this is just all, it's not even going to get close. Let's see, what can we do? Ooh! Gramunja has the flag for me. This is gonna be awesome. You set various options for the integrated development environment and also build, debug, and deploy. Okay, for build related to looking for /r, huh? /run. For the latest document, yeah. Syntax require arguments required. Compiles and runs the specified project or solution according to the settings specified. I wonder if I can just run an exe. Run exit. Okay, we're going to try /run exit. That didn't quite work. Let's see. /debugexe. Ah. Alright, let's try that one. /debugexe. It's still not. Okay, I gotta save the script first. Okay. Alright, and that's gonna take forever to actually start up Visual Studio because, like, you know. And is it gonna run or no? Maybe not. Probably wants the exe path right there. No. Okay. Let's try run exit again. Unknown switch T. Oh, you fucker, you won't pass that to my... How do I set my command line parameters? I don't want to open it for debugging. Arrgh. Alright, yeah, we're going to do run exit. The name of the exe. How do I... It's not really here, actually. Command. Complete with a Visual Studio command. No. Debugexe just opens up an executable for debugging, doesn't actually run it. Run doesn't appear to let me. Yeah, it's not gonna like any of these that I do. Debugexe. Now it's launching Visual Studio. It's all set up to do this guy, but it's not running. Yeah, useless. Useless. Alright. So, what we'll do is the workflow will go like this. Whenever I'm prepared to actually test a particular one, I just manually edit this stupid piece of shit thing here and say we're going to DevEnd this and manually do this. Alright, go. Manually set this. Which means this is not even correct anymore. Yeah, it looks like Debugexe is supposed to work, but it's not doing it for reasons I don't fully understand. Executable file. We'll see. Okay. Data path. Where is my data path? It's at w4ed 4coder non-source test data. No. 4coder non-source. What is it? Test data, input data. Oops, don't change that. I just got it right. Alright, so that's not a very good workflow there. I could probably make it better by having the test thing just generate the tricked out versions. I'd have to run the script to get the test data full path though. It's not nice. I wish I could get the Visual Studio to do it. It looks like Debugexe is supposed to make that happen. Or past that file as okay. Let's do some investigation here to figure out why this is crashing here. This is happening during the file creation. $350K, yeah. And here's the text. We're just saying, hey, yo, init the normal file. We got that text from up here, yeah. Alright, nothing wacky, nothing wild. Token exists, and tokens equals 0. We haven't got that far. We're doing file create from string. If we have hook open file, we do. Hook open file does what? Alright, so this is enabling virtual whitespace. Now, that's because we're coming in under the 512 megabyte limit that I have set here. Wait, 512 kilobyte limit I have set here. Okay. Okay. And so then we do a first lex on the file. So we're just lexing along here. We're still lexing. We do a lex step. Chunk size, chunk index 1. So I'm guessing we have 2 chunk indexes. Yeah, this one is that. So we're getting this part, chunk size. And when we do that, filling up tokens, and then yeah. going along. Did it manage to lex all the way to the end on this one? Yeah, it looks like it's done. So we're on finished. Yeah, so lex result is finished. And what did we do? We figured out what's our new max. Well, we look at the count of the number of tokens. New max equals 1501, new max 1536, 15014. Okay, so then we did old max equals old mem max equals that times that. So that's this. That's this. Tokens is if the swap array has no tokens, we allocate tokens for it. Otherwise, we reallocate tokens for it. So one way or the other, we're just making sure that we have enough for new mem max. 24, 5, 24, 57, 60. Yeah, so new mem max, old mem max. New mem max is just too small. Why is it coming back so small? We're getting the new max, which is that. Why was the old max so big? I feel like that was the correct size for it. So that's why that ended up down there, is because we got somehow, oh, this is rounding up to the nearest kilobyte, right. So this is the old count, which is going right here, and we're saying the new max is whatever the count is, but I'm pretty sure that this is only returning the new tokens and not all of the tokens, right? And then with the swap array, what we already have times, yeah, okay, so then we swap into the tokens, from the old tokens we are putting there, and we've just allocated the size of this thing down. We've reallocated it to a smaller size, and therefore it's failing because it's hitting that guard page that I put there to catch this shit, and I'm then taking the count that I already had and adding more to it, making it gonna become bigger and stuff. So the problem is this doesn't make any sense. And we're going to just come through here again, like this. Okay. So, the first time through, the number of tokens is 90938. So, old mem max is 0, new mem max is 91136, or new max is 91136, new mem max is this big number here. We allocate that, and this is a 0, so we put that there. So the reason this is failing is because new max is too small. It's only taking into account the new tokens, and we actually need the new tokens plus the old tokens. So this needs to just be plussed with this, and we'll add an assert that this is always greater than or equal to this, I guess. Especially when I get need token number, but what about when I get finished? I guess in those cases it would actually be okay if that was smaller, and that might be one of the points of this, is to reallocate down to a smaller size that we're wasting space. So I guess it doesn't actually have to be bigger than the old mem max. It just has to be the case that that's bigger than the current swap array's count. I'm not even convinced that this is the correct value for old mem max, to be honest. Swap array. We copy that shit into there. We clear out the tokens, and then, yeah, so the idea is that we're supposed to be growing this. Swap array count isn't the correct old max. Max count would be. Yeah. Okay, so let's go find FileView 2091 and try to make a couple changes to clean that up. So we have first we have the new set of tokens here. Why is that named tokens? It's a mystery. No one knows. It's supposed to be called new tokens. New tokens. Boom. Okay, now, at each step, what we're going to do is we're going to say that the new max needs to be the swap arrays count plus the new tokens count plus 1. Round it up to the kilobyte boundary, sure. And the idea here is to make sure that it's at least big enough to contain all of this, right? All of the new stuff, all the stuff it already had, plus 1 more, and then round it up to a kilobyte boundary. So that's big enough. And then we say, here's our new maximum value. And then our old maximum value is found by taking the max of our swap array that we maybe have previously allocated and storing it there. That lets us do this part correctly. Now, I actually don't think, I think that actually we don't need to do that. It's just that this isn't old mem max, this is old mem count. Because this is just here to tell us how much of the old array to save. How much of it we actually are using and care about. So new max should always be big enough to store everything. Then we either allocate it or we reallocate the tokens in the swap array. And we make sure that we have enough memory by putting that in there. We set the max count to whatever this new max is here. That's the new max count. And now what we're going to do is we're going to assert, before we do this mem copy, that swap array count plus tokens count is less than or equal to the swap array max count. That's the assert that we actually need, that we're failing to meet right now, because we had a situation where this plus this was much larger than what we could actually fit in there. Then we take the end of the tokens array, we copy stuff out of the tokens, copy that much stuff out of the tokens, and we add to the tokens array how many tokens we've got, and this is actually new tokens. And then we leave if we're done. and then we swap, right? Because that's what the swap array is for. This is all amateur hour code. Alright. Let's rebuild 4coder. And then run the test again. That's going to launch Visual Studio instead. Okay, goodbye. Let's try and run it. Okay, so that is looking okay. Non-crashy and all. Let's try this. Yeah, at this size, it's definitely not a good idea for this to be treated as code. So I should probably actually just go ahead and lower that max limit thing quite a bit. This appears to be an inlined version of font data, which is interesting. I'm going to stop going through it because it's not my code, but looks like everything else there is fine. We just need to come over here to hooks. There's a spot where it says 512. That's way too big. We need to drop that down to like 64K. Maybe 128K? I'm not sure. In fact, I'm in debug build right now, but I've noticed that while I was typing there, FileView was feeling a little slow. Now maybe that wouldn't be a problem in release build, but I feel like the reason I picked 512 was because it allows this to actually work, but I think this one is actually past the limit too, which is telling, because it means I should probably get on that and fix it. Might need to break this up for now or something. Yeah, okay. So I'm looking at my other file sizes. It looks like, well, I probably have some hidden in here too that are big. No? What about in here? That one's kind of big. Not crazy though. Types is a little big. Man, so much code, isn't there? There's so much code. Alright. So there we go. We are now let me generate all my tests, build all my tests, run all my tests. So that one works just fine. These ones will work just fine still, hopefully. Those aren't being treated as code. Whoops. So those tests are meaningless. Gotta go fix that real quick. Alright. .txt. Yeah, these are supposed to say .cpp. And with that one change, it should fix everything. Generate those, build those, run those. Now we're talking. Yeah. Okay. So next up, what we want to do is look at the next bug, I guess. Duplicate line on messages. Alright, let's try to dupe that. Now, I can't remember what my duplicate line is. Is it Control-Shift-L? There it is. Okay. Yep. Okay, this will be good. This will be good to fix. So let's go and create a repro for that. Test duplicate read only. Dupe line read only. .4is. Alright. So for this one, we're going to need to do the following things. First, we set the base weight to 1. At the end, we'll exit. And then along the way, we're going to do the following things. First, we need to key that. Then we need to type messages. And then key new line key. And then we're going to key L modifier control. That should do it. So let's take a quick look at generator.cbp. Here it is. We want to push the test called dupe line read only.4is. Alright, 4id. So that tells it to run that test. Now this is where we start getting into a little bit of duplicated work, where maybe I could actually benefit from generating the build test script, because you see now I have a spot where I'm declaring the names of manually written tests, and then I have another spot where I'm doing that again. And instead of having two lists like that, I could auto-generate this thing so that this part can be the set of the list of manually made tests. Now, yeah, the only reason those aren't just starred right now is because if I ever want to invoke a file, I have to control the order that they come in. But I'm starting to think that I might not ever use invoke, because if I ever do, I would need so much more than just keeping these lists in order. Like, if I'm going to invoke one to the other, I would have to manually keep the list not only in, like, some location, I have to manually keep the list duplicated, but even if I deduplicate it, I still have to manually think through the dependency order, which is maybe something I don't actually want to do all the time. And there's no error checking for that. It would just be a thing that's like, this thing is fucked, and I just have to run it twice to get the right results or something, which is not lovely. And in fact, even that wouldn't necessarily work. In fact, this whole system would be super error prone because two things can just include each other, and then every time you run it, they copy the other into them. Uh-oh. Are we having stream problems? Yeah, it's saying I've lost a bunch of frames. Maybe I should wrap it up. Comcast is screwing me. It looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this stream up, I guess. Oh, it's kind of kicking back in. Let's give it a minute. Let's give it a minute and see if it's gonna be okay. That's bad. Alright then, I think that marks the end of the stream.